Well, today we are going to dive into the area of Southeast Tennessee, specifically the Chattanooga area, with my friend Adriane, who is amazing and she is the expert in that area. Hey, Adriane, how are you today?
Hello, Jennifer. I'm great. Thank you so much for having me on your little show.
Oh, of course. I love it. And we are so excited to learn more about your area. But first, tell us who you are and tell us how long you've been in real estate.
Okay, my name is Adriane Bailey. I am with a Keller Williams Greater Chattanooga office here in the Chattanooga area. I've been doing real estate for now 4 years. I've got a background. I had an insurance agency for 7 years. I did property and casualty, and way
Mm.
back when I did mortgages. And I'm currently also a financial advisor. So I've done a lot of things around real estate that is very helpful to all of my clients. So
Oh my goodness, that is helpful.
yes. So being in Chattanooga, it's the Chattanooga area. So I go about an hour, hour and a half in a circumference. I go up to Cleveland, Charleston, that's north. Saudi
Mhm.
Daisy, Hickson is like northwest. We've got south, so we're a border city to North Georgia. So Ringgold, Rossville, Fort Oglethorpe, Lafayette, a little north of Dalton. So it's a pretty big area.
Yeah, it sounds like it. Well, and it also sounds like all those industries you were in prior, they all relate. So you can probably really help someone financially, answer questions about, even mortgages and things like that, which is really helpful. That is so awesome. Well, so you kind of told us some of the areas that you cover around Southeast Tennessee. Are you licensed in Georgia as well?
Yes, ma'am. Great question. I am licensed in Georgia.
Oh my goodness, that's awesome. And that's so helpful, especially if you're on one of those border towns. That's actually really helpful. Okay, so you can help people in that North Georgia area as well, right? Perfect. Okay, let's talk about some of the industries in your area, and you'll see why in a few minutes. So, thinking about Chattanooga and all the cities kind of around it, where are people working? What are like some of the main places that bring people there to work or live?
So some of the big employers are going to be Erlanger. It's a teaching hospital. So there's a lot of people coming in as nurses, doctors into Erlanger, which is downtown. They've got some other locations other than downtown. Volkswagen and all the
Oh.
industry that supports Volkswagen. So they came in many years ago, but there's a lot of industry that is supportive. And that's in like the East Brainerd kind of area, but people can live in Cleveland. They live all over to come for Volkswagen. Also, we've got Unum, Blue Cross, and Blue Shield, and those are the insurance providers, but they also employ a lot of people. And then Hamilton County School District, so they also employ a lot of people in the county.
Okay, so lots of different industries that could bring people to your area.
Yes.
For example, what areas of the country are you seeing people who are moving from out of state? What states are they moving from to come to your area? Any specific areas like California or Northeast?
Yes. California, definitely.
Mhm.
Chicago,
Oh,
New York, and like some New Jersey and Florida, which really surprised me. I've worked with a lot of people coming from Florida for different reasons.
well, and it's interesting because, of course, Florida doesn't have really mountains. And of course, you are in, I call them mountains. I mean, someone said hills, but I feel like it's mountains. Isn't that correct?
Well, you got the Smoky Mountains. We're like close to the Smoky Mountains, but we do have rolling hills. It's not like Colorado. I'll say that.
Right. Well, we've driven, of course, from Indiana, and people have to go through Chattanooga if they want to go to Atlanta and all those areas. So I remember when I was young, we stopped at a hotel called Chattanooga Choo Choo, and I think it's still there, is it?
It sure is. And near the Chattanooga Chute, we do have Lookout Mountain and Signal Mountain. Those are the two big mountains. And those are more affluential areas, if you will,
Oh,
and good school districts. So those are the two
okay.
true mountains in Chattanooga. And yes, the Choo Choo is still there.
That is so cool. It's so funny. On TikTok, I also saw, and I plan to go there someday. I'll probably visit you and go there. Little Debbie Park.
Oh,
Like, okay.
yes, McKee is another big employer. I should have mentioned that. So
Oh,
McKee is actually located in Collegedale, Tennessee, which is from Chattanooga. It is northeast. So Ottawa is a booming city. My family moved to Ottawa, Collegedale, I think 40 plus years ago. There's one traffic light. McKee was there, but there wasn't a whole lot. It was very rural. So it is now a hustle bustle city. There's lots of development, a lot of restaurants, and they literally McKee sits in Collegedale. So you asked me about what the park. Is that what you were asking about?
well, I always saw on TikTok people going to this park called Little Debbie Park, and it has all
Oh,
of the different. I'm sorry, I love a Little Debbie.
yeah.
So, I mean, going to a park where I can climb onto a cosmic brownie, I'm sorry.
That is a newer area. So they had the Greenway, which was a walkway for years, and there's a memorial park there. So they have statues that represent each area of the military and flags for
Oh,
every state. And that is an extension, what you're talking about. That is a newer part of the park. It's beautiful. It's absolutely beautiful. They do farmers
it's
market.
beautiful.
You can rent a pavilion for weddings or
Ooh.
receptions. Yeah, very nice.
Wow, that is so awesome. Okay, well, I need to go there and I need to come visit you, obviously.
You can just come
Um,
stay with me. You stay for free.
yes, thank you. So let's talk about people who are downsizing in your area. So in Indianapolis, for example, we have a lot of new construction neighborhoods where they're focused on 55 and older. They're building them like crazy. A lot of people, as we talk about a lot, are downsizing, baby boomers, people who are retiring, empty nesters. Are you seeing a lot of that in your area? And are they building some of those new neighborhoods, or do you guys see a lot of construction, new
We see,
construction?
we see a lot of new construction. You specifically mentioned 55 plus. There are some, I don't think there's an abundance of 55 plus. So one of the ones that I'm very familiar with is Stonebrook, and it's off of Ottawa Ringel Road. Of course, it's perfect because they're townhomes, condos are 1 story. They don't have to take care of the outside of the homes or the landscape, which is perfect. It's not gated, but it is a beautiful community. A lot of the construction that we see is more smaller houses and homes.
Okay. Okay. So for the people who are trying to downsize that have the bigger homes, if they don't want new construction, where are they going? Do you have a plethora of, 1-story ranch type homes?
So we do have some. I do have somebody that's coming. Granted, he could go to a 55 plus because he's older, but he's totally capable of walking up and down stairs. However, there are ranches. It depends on how specific and what they're looking for. So if somebody's looking for something completely flush to walk in, like a Florida home, we don't have a lot of those. There might be some steps, but there are. So we've got places like East Ridge, it's a little bit older. We've got Red Bank, the Hickson area, the East Brainerd. And yes, we can find 1-story homes. They're harder to find in new construction because it's easier, it's cheaper for them to build up than it is out, right?
Right, exactly. Well, when you are seeing people downsize in your area, are you seeing them want to stay in Chattanooga? Because we have to remember you have all the seasons, I mean, I doubt that it snows a lot, but it does get chilly, right, in the winter.
It does get cold, yes. That's why a lot of people do move from this area and the southeastern states down to Florida because it is
Mm,
a lot warmer. That's why my parents actually left about 8.5 years ago, is they didn't want the cold at all. So, but it's funny,
right.
people come from Florida back here and at all different ages. Yeah.
That is so interesting. So some people are staying there, some people are going south, maybe even to Arizona, to Florida, wherever it's warm. That is so interesting. Well, since you talked about a lot of the industries that are in your area, I'm sure that that brings people from all parts of the country. When you think of Chattanooga, um, are there a lot of opportunities for investors? Because again, like you said, you mentioned schools, you mentioned all sorts of industries. Are there opportunities for investors to purchase homes and maybe make those midterm or short-term rentals or investment properties?
Yes, absolutely. I think there's always going to be in every city the opportunity for investment properties.
Mhm.
As you build and have newer areas, people leave those older homes. And in certain areas, the areas change. What's more popular? Where are they leaving? And then it gives the opportunity for people to take those homes. I've got a friend of mine, and she's got one in an area close to the downtown area that she just completely remodeled. So I know several people that are buying the smaller, and they're smaller homes, and they're great starter
Mhm.
homes if somebody's trying to downsize, if they're wanting a second home, they're getting
That's
these smaller
perfect.
homes. Mhm.
I love that. And so let's talk about the median price. What is the median price kind of in your specific area?
So I do market stats every Monday. I went ahead and just looked it
Mhm.
up. So a median priced single family residence is $418,500.
Okay.
Townhomes and
Okay.
condos are 399,000.
Okay. All right. So, I guess with the national average, of course, people living in California and New York, it's much more expensive. So this is a more reasonable place for people to come invest. And of course you can find homes in the twos and threes. It kind of probably just depends, right?
Yes, it does depend. Depends on the quality of the area. If it's a
Hmm.
more popular area that's really it's up and coming, or it's been developed and the developing continues, like Ottawa or the Hicks and
Mm.
South Daisy areas, they're going to be a little more expensive. But
And
that's probably typical.
yeah, I was also just thinking, so Nashville is what, 3 hours away, two and a half, three?
2.5, 3 hours.
Nashville, their median price is higher and it's gotten higher over the years. So I
Yeah.
think that would be a really good opportunity, actually, if someone, because people in Nashville always talk about, oh, it's so crowded now. It didn't used to be. And I feel like that would be a good opportunity for them to go east, a few hours to your area and the price point is a little lower. Do you see any of that happening?
I mean, that's not where I've had people coming from. I know some people might be moving from Murfreesboro. I think when they're
Hmm.
making that kind of move, it's probably for a job, unless they're coming from out of state and they're choosing which area to go to in Tennessee and North Georgia.
Got it. I mean, I'm putting it out there. That's a good idea for those people in Nashville because I constantly on TikTok and different people I've talked to hear people complain about how busy Nashville is, how expensive. Well, here's your opportunity. Go east. Listen,
That's
I'm putting it out there. Go ahead. Because it's not going to get much better. It's going to get more expensive, just as all areas are going to be more expensive. So with that median price point, first time home buyers. I will say in Indianapolis, our median price is 260. So when I hear three and 400 for us, that's a little more expensive. And I think that for us, our first time home buyers would have a little bit of a struggle finding something. But are you seeing the first time home buyers go maybe further out and get something a little less expensive?
That's exactly what they're going to have to do because of the fact the median price is now higher, and it makes it hard for a first-time home buyer, no doubt. So they're going to have to go a little bit further out. They might have to compromise on, something that they're wanting in a house. What's your top five things that you want? They might be willing to get four. So
Right.
it depends on how willing are they going to be to give up something that they're looking for, and if the price is really affecting what they can afford, they're going to definitely have to go further out, which I
Is
think
there a
is
certain
pretty cool for any city, right?
Right. Oh, absolutely. Is there a certain part of town or do they have to go into because I don't know northern Georgia if that area is cheaper than your area per se, but where are they going? Like where do you see first time buyers finding more reasonable properties?
So one of the areas in Chattanooga is East Ridge. It's an older area. The houses aren't as big. That's a great place for first-time home buyers. And they're right on the border of Rossville, Ringgold. Now, Georgia is a great option. But here's the thing. The reason that you can get a little bit more house in North Georgia is because they have a state income tax.
Okay.
Tennessee does not have a state income tax. So you might pay a little bit more for a home, but you're not taxed on your income. So I like to tell people because they need to decide for themselves what's going to be better for them.
I think that's what makes Tennessee a popular place for people to move,
Yeah.
because not many states have that. And that's, but then again, each state's different. So say Indiana has state income tax, but we might have low property taxes, or we might have this or that. Each state is so different. So you kind of have to weigh the pros and cons. But Tennessee, I've seen overall, that's very popular for people to go to because of that state income tax. So overall, if someone watching this video says, you know what, I would love to go visit Chattanooga and see if I want to live there, what advice would you give them? Like, how do they begin their journey to look for a home in your area?
So I would recommend pulling up the sites on Chattanooga, seeing, why would they be interested here? Is it the trails? Are they
Mm,
really outdoorsy people? Are they coming because of a job? Are they coming, or they want to move to a certain area because of a good school district? So everyone's got a different reason for moving here. So what is important to them? That's what I would start with. They're more than welcome to contact me. I can put them in the right direction. We can drive around. I also think that driving around and getting familiar with the different areas, because there are so many different areas, what appeals to you? What appeals to you, Jennifer, may not appeal to me, and vice versa. So I think you really need to spend some time around the area, and there's nothing wrong with making a first trip with the intention of coming back. Unless you have to
exactly.
make a decision right here and right now, to ask a lot of questions.
Exactly. And Um, when people hear you and know you like I do, they will know that you are the expert and you are such a great person to work with. So the first thing they need to do is contact you. And if you're watching this video, I will put how you can connect with Adriane in the information below. But Adriane, thank you so much. This was so awesome. I love learning about Chattanooga. I love learning about Southeast Tennessee and part of northern Georgia. It's so helpful, especially for people who are trying to watch videos and decide where are we going to move. So again, if you need any help in this area, I will connect you with Adriane. But thanks again. I really appreciate it.
Thank you, Jennifer. I really appreciate you.
Thank you. Have a great day.
You too. Bye.